What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Down South Adventures. We're over here at Spartan HQ, and today we're going to be putting a rear view camera mirror on Daisy's Jeep. What do we got today?
Today we have a rear view camera mirror by AUTO-VOX, and it's their V5 Pro edition. Now this install is going to look a lot different than the installs that we've done in the past, so we can't wait to show it to you.
Stay tuned.
So let's get this AUTO-VOX opened up and see what's inside. Are you excited about putting it on Jeep?
I am very excited, actually. I was watching a video about all its different features, and I really like that it has the recording for parking and driving, because I've talked about countless times. I live in Charlotte, and if you've ever driven in Charlotte, people are crazy. So it's just a nice peace of mind to have that option there. So I'm pretty excited.
So here is the screen. I think it's, how big is the screen?
9.35 inches. That's a pretty big screen.
So this one is a little different than the ones we've installed before because it is actually supposed to mount directly to your glass. All the ones we've had, it was more like a cover over your mirror. So this is supposed to mount directly to your glass. So it should delete the mirror altogether.
I believe I was reading it comes with 3 different adapters as well. So obviously, well, we're putting it on a Jeep, so they do have an adapter for the Chrysler Jeep Dodge. There's 2 other adapters. I can't recall what models they're for. So this is capable of multiple vehicles, not just Jeeps.
So there's some wires and adapters.
This is to adapt to your fuse box. This is going to be the most common for modern vehicles based off of what I listened to on the video, but you can obviously buy other adapters from Amazon if this doesn't fit what you've got.
More cables.
And I think in order to route to the rear camera, I think you had 16 foot if I remember, and the one that connects to your fuse box, this one is 8 foot. So it should accommodate the distance of your vehicle, multiple different styles.
Nice.
Daisy, you're way better than this than us.
No, I listened to the video that you sent me.
I already forgotten everything I've watched.
All right, so other mounting.
Yes, these are your adapters for different vehicles. This is the one that we will use today. It's Chrysler Jeep Dodge, but these are your other 2. And then this, and there should be, okay, so that's your GPS tracker.
And it's your camera.
Oh, okay, so that's your camera. That is your rear camera.
And your GPS tracker.
And your GPS tracker. I think there's one in there somewhere. There should be a mount with red on the back. That's actually what we would use today for the rear camera, because it's going to allow you to attach to the outside of the vehicle. This might be it. It may just not have the red on the back like the video described. Another thing that I thought was really cool is you can, once you've mounted everything, like I know historically with the cameras that we've mounted and the cameras that probably they've mounted as well, is you have to just adjust it and then tighten the screws down. With this, once it's mounted in place, you can actually, with the screen, it's a touch screen, you touch it and you can move the angles of the camera from there. So it's fixed and it moves based off of what you tell it to do with the screen, which is kind of cool.
Yep. All right. Get this
Ready to get into this?
Mounted.
I don't know. All right, so for those of you that don't know, Moxie is a 2007 Jeep Wrangler JKU. The set screw here is a T20. I don't know what yours will be. That's what mine is. Okay, all right. Easy peasy.
Well,
She's off.
she was already loose. So that shit was hanging on by a thread.
I don't know how we've gotten through half of the trails in
You were
that thing
one
popping
hard
off.
bump away from wearing that bitch.
However, I will say, the video said that mount that was for Jeep, it looks like an octagon. This does not look like that. So let's see which mount we need. Okay, that's a stiff bitch right there, as I like it. It's very hard to adjust currently. I don't know why. Ta-da! And now we're going to tighten up the set screw.
Easy peasy, and it looks factory.
Oh, this is not a Starkey. This is a Phillips. Let me get a different.
So you're not going to use the same
It's
T20
not yet.
that you used to put it in, guys. It'll be a Phillips. Yeah, that's going to be a clean looking install
All right, she's
versus
snug.
the cover.
Gosh, it's pretty, isn't it? It's fingerprints. Ooh, it's got
It
lots of
does have some
fingerprints. Alright, so we are going to wire this bad boy up to the fuse box. We're just going to take the cap off to get it out of the way so we can figure out what we're doing. Alright.
Which one?
Let me call Mr. Spartan. One of them. One of them. One of them.
So, we've got two of these jumpers. One is for, let's see, what is it for? They're both for power. But one of them is for constant power and one of them is for the ignition. One goes to a red wire, one goes to a yellow wire. But as you see, they're both red. So I'm just gonna put just a little piece of green tape on one of these, so when I put it into the fuse box, I know which is which. Green's gonna go to yellow because I don't have yellow electrical tape. Or I do, but I don't know where it's at. So green it is.
All right, so what are we doing, Jesse?
All right, so step one was identifying which fuse box or fuses we're gonna jump off of here. The accessory is easy. It's labeled accessory in here. But the tricky one is you need a constant power supply. Most of these fuses are tied to the accessory. So, had to go hunting. Most Wranglers have a third. There's 3 12-volt outlets usually. You've got one in the front. A lot of times there's one in the glove box or in the compartment, and then a third one in the back, even though people don't usually use the one in the back. The one in the back is constant. So we had to find that in here. And this is nice because these are labeled. It'll say power outlet number 1, ACC. Power outlet number 2, ACC. But number 3 specifically states that it's tied straight to the battery. So, but we want to test that. We don't want to do all the wiring up and find out that idiot on YouTube read it wrong and it's not actually tied to the battery. So we use our trusty Harbor Freight multimeter. It's real easy. We'll let you guys look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick, I've already removed that fuse. It's a 20 amp fuse. We're going to poke. We're going to do this, what we call the Marine Corps Barney style. We're going to poke the red one in the hole. We're going to poke the black one on the black of our battery. And what we should get here is 12 volts. Red one in the hole. Black one on the battery. What do we got?
12 and a half.
12 and a half volts. So we got constant power because the truck is off. The Jeep's off. Don't at me.
Gonna.
All right. So we got our two, we're gonna call them dongles. And first step is we're gonna take our 20 amp fuses that we just removed and put those back in here. So these jumpers have 2 purposes. So it uses your, it looks silly. Why does that one go all the way down and then this one doesn't? You know why? It's because these are, there's like 2 different types of mini fuses. There's these, and then there's some that are even smaller.
Tiny one.
A little baby fuse.
Well, so you see how these blade fuses, the connections are on the bottom. The next size down, they're on the sides. So, y'all remember all that stuff I said a minute ago about easy peasy, plug it in and use the jumpers? I lied to y'all. That ain't true. So there's some other videos showing this product, and part of the issue is those examples, this jumper is being plugged into a fuse box that uses those micro blade fuses. So all the fuses are flat across the top. A 2007 Jeep Wrangler does not use those, which means you can't actually, you want to slide over here. So we see we got an open fuse slot right here. This fuse can't get far enough in there
Okay.
to actually plug in. See?
Enough.
Well, it's like an infomercial, you know. Do you hate when your fuse blades won't go in? But yeah, so this won't work. So we're going to have to do the good old-fashioned chop a wire, plug a wire. We're going to do it a little simpler. I'm going to cut the yellow one, which is the constant power, and we're going to stick it straight to the battery. The other one, the one that needs to go to the accessory to the ignition, we're going to jump off of the first outlet, 12-volt outlet, since it ties to the ignition, the same way we in the past did our trusty headlights, if you remember 2 years ago or whenever. So let's chop some wires. There's a term for spots where wires go through your firewall.
Firewall hole?
But I don't know what it is. But we can't see it from in the engine bay, so we're gonna use my trusty metal rod here and poke up through it into the engine bay with the plan of taping our wire to it and yanking it back through. You ready to start ramming?
So we found a pretty quick, easy hole. This one gives it up real easy for you. You don't have to try a lot. You just pop off this side here. You've got a hole that they filled with like the yellow grate stuff. And so it comes right out. It comes right out. You can see our ramrod right there. So we're gonna be able to run it straight to where he needs to.
It's a pretty big
That's a
connector.
large little connector for the size of the hole that we have on the other side.
The good news is that it's fun.
We're gonna have to want it.
You're gonna have to work.
You're gonna have to huck to it on that thing.
For sure.
First of all,
That is staying. That is staying.
Notice I looked at that
He
camera.
looked at this camera because he knows what channel that's okay with.
I know my audience.
over, but I need it to be long. That's what I need.
Always talking about.
Like I come over here with a pencil.
Look, you're talking about me.
I'm sorry.
We were having our own conversation.
If you think for one fucking moment that won't be in the real video, you're out of your mind, Daisy.
We were having our own conversation.
Daisy,
Mind
we were
your
not in the woods
business.
alone.
All right, it's time. Took us a while, but we got our wires run through. So we've run our power through the firewall to the front, and then from the front, or from the inside out, I've run, let's find it here, the camera cord. So that is gonna be, it's gonna connect to the power on this end. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we're gonna tape it up here in a minute. Once I get my tape. Now, so this is our constant power. This is our accessory power. So the constant power we're going to put on the battery. So that'll just drop right there. This little 20 amp is the one we used on our lights. I gotta snip this off, and we're gonna wrap it around there, call that a day. All right, so we've got these run through, and we've got two. First one, it looks real short, but it's not going far. We're gonna run up the A-pillar and across the plastic inside, and look, there's access to get to that to the cord there for the mirror.
So plenty of.
And the other one is plenty long. This is the one that's going to go all the way to the back for the camera. So
It's like 16
is
or
it long
something.
enough?
It's something stupid
I don't know.
long.
Let's look.
Yeah, you got. I think we're gonna have plenty of room. Honestly, I think if you had an F-250, you'd probably have plenty of room.
Plenty of wire.
It's a lot right now.
So what we're doing, guys, she's just running that wire up through, And then she's gonna run it through the center as well. So we've just pulled it down, not
I
all
thought
the
it
way
would come
off.
out the back side,
You
though.
can if you want to.
You sure can. So guys, like I was saying before, one thing I really like about this mirror is, look at that. Now you've got one plug here. You've got this mirror that looks factory. So compared to the other mirrors that we've installed, this is by far the most factory look that we've seen. So I really think there's a lot to be said about getting a full mirror instead of the clip-on versions that go right on your factory mirror.
Also, I don't want to mess up my shirt.
All right, so we're taking the rear tire off.
Take that. Yeah, see that?
37s are so fun, guys. So this is the camera that she currently had. And right now what we're gonna be doing is taking this camera off. And I think she's gonna try to use the same mount for the current system.
She is.
So we don't want to trust just some 3M adhesive. So we're gonna drill a little hole in this and put a screw that we can tighten down, and the same thing on there. So what I've done is I've made a little mark for where the center hole is there. I'm gonna punch it and I'm gonna drill it. So, oh, it's plastic. I didn't need to tap that, I'll tell you that.
It works.
So now he's gonna screw this. All right, guys, now that we've got the camera mounted, he's just gonna be pushing that wire through this hole, and he'll be able to run it right in the tailgate, and then we can just follow these wires all the way through. There it is. Easy peasy. All right, Jesse's gonna show us a trick to get a 37 up there easily.
By yourself.
All right.
The tricky part's that camera, and if it's going to fit through these holes. But our good friend, the Toyota wizard, Ryan, watched me struggling to put a tire on the truck when it was on a lift, and he said, "You're doing it wrong. You just get the wheel, the backside to you, and if you care, you know, what's up, and you want to hold it upside down, you're going to grab the rim, use your legs."
Well, I'll be.
Not gonna fit. Not gonna fit.
All right, guys, just to test the camera before we hard mount everything,
Still not anywhere near your second delivery.
it did end up fitting. You can see it there.
I'm going all the way on, or just
You don't have to.
Oh shit, wait! I'm kidding.
bitch. I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you.
Oh,
She
nice.
is. And then should be. How did you get it to?
You just slide up and down. So you see that because it's a 180-degree camera and you're only looking at it through a very, very thin area, you can move, you can lower and raise wherever you think you need it. And as far as the picture goes, I don't think there's any lag or anything. It just looks really, really smooth.
And that's the record button there. And that's if you want a photo.
And what else we got?
Does you want to tell us about what you were just doing?
So, so you can move the angle of the camera up and down just by sliding your finger around the screen. If you press and hold, it'll swap to, this would be the speed, and then the compass, of course, and you just tap it to get it back to the camera screen. If you tap it here, you can turn the sound on and off. This is split screen, so now I'm seeing the front and the rear camera. Tap it again, now it's just the front camera. And one more time puts me back to the back camera. This is the record button. I don't have a memory card in there currently, so it will not let me do that. That's where I would, of course, save whatever clip it just recorded. And it's also where you, if you want to turn on the parking feature, you get to where you're going, you put it in park, hit record, go to the settings, which is here, go to park monitoring, pick the sensitivity level that you want, and then turn the vehicle off. From that point, the sensitivity level will dictate how hard of an impact that it will automatically turn itself back on, lock in the clip that it just recorded, and then turn itself off.
Nice.
But in order to utilize that, you do have to each time go in and turn that on. You will also have to go turn that off. So when you get back in the car, you turn it on. You will do the exact same process and go to parking and turn it off. And then it will go to your normal camera.
Little man is showing how fast that camera is. It's picking up all that ninja movement back there and doing a pretty good job of it. And so what's really, really neat about this, guys, is, you know, when you look out the back glass of Jeeps, most of us can't see shit because we're looking through soft tops that are faded, big tires. And so this is going to allow her a full field of view. I can't wait till you get on the interstate and see what you see.
Can I see you? Yeah, I can see that you're there. I mean, I can't see all of you, but I can definitely see that you're there.
She can see half of you. I can see PC on your shirt.
I can see your shoulder. I know that you're there.
So yeah, that's going to make parking lots so much better.
It's nice because if someone's walking near the Jeep, that he was actually really close for me.
Are you all the way down there? Okay. So tell me when you can't see my hand.
I'm still good. Still good. No.
That's about 2 feet from your tire.
Nice.
Now, I mean, I could.
With it angled at that.
Still,
Uh,
tell me when you can't see
I'm
my
ready.
hand.
Keep going. No.
About a foot from your tire.
And let's see from that angle how much
I hate that part.
yeah, that's kind of frustrating. And so even at that angle, I can still utilize
adjust
it as
it.
a complete rear view mirror. I can see the tops of the houses behind me.
Let's
Yep.
see how fast it really is.
I can see
Angled down slightly.
every bit of Bella.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's
and the
pretty
picture
good.
quality is great.
So again, tap it, and this little guy right here will split the view, and that will go straight to just forward.
Nice.
So that's kind of high. Let's see.
You
if,
can twist
it
that,
works the
and
same
it
way.
does the exact same way.
Tilt the mirror itself.
Can you move this?
I think you can twist it, maybe.
Oh, it's it's a wobbly
Yeah,
little thing.
it
You
moves
can. It's like a
all different
little
directions.
ball joint kind of scenario here.
Hold on, I'm gonna go around so I can see you changing that.
So it's like a little finger. I can swirl it around. I can take it. Oh, don't know why it did that. I might have tapped the screen unknowingly.
Yeah, but it gives you, that is such a good field of view.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so guys,
nice.
you've got so much play to
You
to
can get it
position this
set
thing
up
where you
wherever
need it.
want. Yeah.
I mean, you can use that for YouTube, honestly.
Yeah,
Like
for
dash
sure.
shots.
So one thing that we didn't mention, guys, this thing is made best for a 64 gig micro SD card. You will put it in the bottom here. There's a little section. So once she gets that, she's going to be able to record all those clips. And think about this, if you're in an accident, this is all the proof you need for insurance and court.
So it is constantly recording. It's record. I can set the clips to 1, 2, or 3 minute long, and it will record constantly until it fills up the SD card, and then it starts overriding the bottom of those recordings. However, if I'm like Jeremy said, if I'm in a car accident or something of that sort, if I just tap that, it's gonna lock in that 1, 2, or 3 minute, whatever I have it set on, latest footage, and so that will not overwrite.
So far, what do you think of the picture?
I think it looks great. I'm actually really excited to utilize it while driving.
Yep.
I think this is really cool.
So guys, we're gonna get you some good daytime shots and some good nighttime shots. And then we'll get Daisy's final thoughts on having a giant vehicle like this and getting this new technology after just having a rear view mirror.
individual circles. Like on the camera, it looks like maybe it's translating into just kind of a blob of light in the back. That's not what it looks like in person. I can see the fronts of all of those vehicles and their headlights individually. So it actually looks great. I'm thoroughly impressed. All right, guys. So I've officially used the rear view mirror for 2 days. Morning, I leave morning, it's dark outside, and then of course coming home in the evening, it's daytime. The resolution is phenomenal. The functionality seems to be great. I did opt to not include the parking lines, so I couldn't really speak on that aspect of it, but I do know that the feature is there. I just chose not to use it. Overall, it's great. It looks good. I love the peace of mind that it gives me, knowing now if something were to happen, a collision, I would have that protection. And then the visibility at nighttime is actually really, really good. I 100% believe that it's better than my previous rear view mirror, which of course was just a mirror. So that's my kind of thoughts on the AUTO-VOX V5 Pro. And I'm super happy with it, and I'm really glad we installed it.